Where is Roark? We need to work on this Mandrill problem-solving group presentation.
I know. I wonder what's taking him so long. Did you text him?
Yeah, I sent a message a little while ago, but I haven't heard from him, so hopefully he gets here soon.
I would like to get this finished.
True. This has been a long project working on our Mandrill problem-solving techniques,
I know.
but hopefully he will join up soon.
Did you send him the link?
I did, yes. There he is.
Hey, Roark.
Hello? Is it working now?
Yeah, I think we hear you.
Yeah, I've been having really bad computer problems ever since these online classes started. It's just been super inconsistent. I don't really have the money to, buy a new one or anything. Not really sure what to do at all.
Well, our problem is provocative methods, so maybe we can try to solve your problem with our technique that we're going to go over.
Yeah, anything's worth a shot, I guess.
Perfect.
Yeah, I've just been struggling to find really any solution to this problem. It's really making class cool.
Yeah, your computer is breaking up.
Yeah.
Maybe if we look at it from different perspectives and we go through all the provocative methods, it would help to generate new solutions that might work for you.
That's a good idea.
Give it a try.
Let's start with the first group of methods where we pair things with the problem and see if we can generate new solutions. Like the first one is our random stimulus. So if any of you can think of like a random object to use.
Well, what about a candle? I think different sizes and shapes of a candle could address how we should identify the bare minimum of what we need in a computer in your case, and how that would be sufficient in finding a solution. Because if you get a new computer, you got to think about how it meets your needs.
That's a good one.
Yeah, and candles can also be like long lasting. So, if I ended up finding a way to get my computer fixed, it would last a whole lot longer and I'll be able to do my schoolwork a lot better.
That's true.
They're also an alternative source of light. So maybe you don't need to purchase a new one. Maybe it doesn't even need to be a laptop. Maybe you can find an iPad or a tablet or even do it from the phone.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Another way of thinking about it is, what if we created a metaphor or created a problem that would relate to your current situation?
Yeah, that's a good idea. I guess one way you could look at it is like a car. A car is like a vehicle to, get you where you need to go. It's really your way to get to your job. And if your car doesn't work, you can't get to your job. And you sort of have to look for a different solution, like either fixing your car, maybe buying a new one, or even getting a ride from a friend every day.
Yeah, it's a good way of thinking about it.
Right. And your laptop's really your vehicle to get to your online classes. So, your laptop's not working, you're not able to participate in your online classes. So you got to find new solutions, like either fixing my laptop, maybe buying a new one, or maybe using a friend's laptop in the meantime.
I agree, yeah.
What if we tried using an analogy instead of a metaphor? Do you know of any?
Um, well, what if we thought of a computer like this? A computer is to the internet what a key is for a locked door, meaning that a computer is an access point to internet, which allows us to participate in our online courses, and and a key for a locked door allows us to access the house that we're living in. So you make that connection, and we need that computer. So it's kind of a big deal when we're trying to do things online.
That makes sense.
The next method we could use is exposure. So let me see if I have any random objects. Oh, I have a Lego. Does that make you think of anything?
Sort of like connectivity, connecting the blocks together.
True, true. How about a box of tissues?
Sickness makes me think of being sick.
True. So let's think about how these two objects can connect to our problem. You have the Lego, with connectivity is the word that we came up with. So maybe there's a router problem, or maybe there's an internet issue at your house.
Mm-hmm.
Or the first word we thought of was sick, with a box of tissues. So maybe there's a virus or some kind of malware on your computer. Maybe that's causing the problems with your computer.
Yeah, I like both those. Those both could be the problem.
And so to bounce off of that, we can go right into cross-fertilization and get an expert and their opinion on this problem. So you could always take your laptop to Best Buy and
Mhm.
have them check it out and see if there's anything wrong. And if there is, would they recommend fixing it or just buying a new one?
It's probably a really good idea. All right, so now we got to think about the second grouping in provocative methods, and that's different perspective magnitudes. And so the first one we have to think about is intermediate impossible.
Hmm. Well, I guess my impossible but ideal situation is, a brand new top line computer. Someone just gives it to me for free.
I don't think anyone's going to give you a laptop for free, but you could try to look for sales on nice laptops and get one that's in your budget.
Yeah, that's true.
So next one's exaggeration. So let's think of an exaggeration for this problem. Let's just say your current laptop just doesn't work anymore and you're unable to use it for any reason. What kind of solution can we find from that?
Well, I guess I just have to buy a new laptop and just throw this one out if it doesn't work at all.
That's true.
So the next one's reversal. So let's think of a way to reverse our problem. So our problem is that we don't have a working computer. How can we reverse that?
The way that you could reverse it is instead of buying a laptop for school for yourself, you could have the school buy a laptop for you.
Actually, I've heard that UNI is allowing students to rent laptops from their library to use for online classes, so that could be a solution.
That could definitely be a solution.
A good one. So the last one's problem switching. So have any of you had any other problems going on in your life that maybe we can draw a connection to with this?
Well, actually, now that you say that, that little sucker back there, the drone, won't connect to its port because of the automated software system, and it just doesn't let it land because it's out of date. So, I mean, now that I think about it, if we connect it to your problem, maybe there's a software issue with your computer that's causing it to be out of date and not allowing you to connect to the apps that you want to use and be able to access online school.
Yeah, I haven't updated in a while, so that could actually be the problem with it right now. So after going through all the methods, what do you guys think I should do?
Well, I would probably just get it looked at first and see if there's any problems that can be fixed, since it would be the cheaper option first.
And if that doesn't work out and it's going to end up being more expensive, then you might just have to look at either renting, borrowing, or potentially even having to buy a new one.
Mhm. Yeah, I think I might end up just renting one from the library if that ends up working out.
I think that's a good alternative, especially for school.
Mhm.
So now that you've seen how provocative methods are used and how they're good for disrupting our normal thought process and helping us generate new ideas, we're going to go through and just kind of define each of them for you. Um, there's something called PO, and it's a symbol that's used to indicate when the principles of lateral thinking are to be used. And then there's also something called the discontinuity principle.
Discontinuity.
Discontinuity. There's something called the discontinuity principle which is kind of defines provocative thinking. It states that by disrupting our normal thoughts, it helps us to create these new thought paths, which then is more stimulating for thinking and helps us come up with these solutions.
And to go back through the first group that we talked about when pairing things with others to create new ideas, the first one was random stimulus. And that's trying to link a randomly generated word to a problem in order to generate ideas for a solution. So how you would use that is you choose a random noun, then you list its properties and characteristics, and you draw interpretations and solutions from that list to apply to the problem. So the next one that we use was metaphor. It's a thinking technique creating two different universes of meaning with some similarity. How to use that, you would state the problem, you'd select your metaphor, and then you'd use that metaphor to create new ideas or to create new ways of thinking. The third one with pairing with other things is analogy. It's a statement of similarity between two things. So how you would use that, you'd state the task or the problem that's at hand. You'd select an analogy and list the steps involved for completing that analogy. And then you'd make interpretations from the steps and connect them to the problem. So the fourth one is exposure. This one's a little bit tricky, but The idea is to force fit combinations of attributes that one associates with an object to fit the problem that's at hand. So this is the one that we use with the Lego and the box of tissues. And so you'd want to use a trigger object or a card, and then you want to state the problem, show each card and object to the group, and then have them say the first attribute or thing that comes to their mind and then you want to record those answers. And once you've done that, you want to analyze each response and try to draw any conclusion or find a solution to the problem from those words that were created. The next one was cross-fertilization. So some kind of bounced off exposure. This is inviting someone who is an expert in the field to provide their input on how they would approach the problem. And how you use that is you present the problem to someone who works a different job or has different sets of skills than you and how they would approach solving the problem. And then you build off of their insights to find a solution.
So the next group is different perspective magnitudes. Now, this group is used when you're really trying to look at things from a completely different viewpoint than you've been looking at it before. So the first one we used for that one was intermediate impossible. With this method, you're going to think of an ideal but impossible solution and sort of adapt it into a viable option. So how you're going to use this is you're going to state the problem, you're going to find an absurd or impossible solution, even though it's not viable right now. Then you're going to pick one of those solutions and adapt it so it becomes realistic and an actual option for you. The second one of that group is exaggeration. This is where you're going to take the problem and take it to the most extreme possibility. You're going to look at ways to get rid of the problem just instead of fixing the problem or temporarily solving it. So yeah, you're going to state the problem, take the problem to the most extreme it could be, and then look for solutions for the extreme problem. The third one of this group is reversal. This one is where you seek various ways to make a problem or threat into an opportunity. So you're going to state your problem, look at it from the complete opposite viewpoint, even if it seems unrealistic or unhelpful. And then you're going to find solutions for your restated problem. This will kind of help you look at it from the exact opposite perspective and maybe find some ideas based off of that. The last one of this group is problem switching. This is where you switch from one problem to another, even if it's completely unrelated, and then switch back to it again and see if you can use the gained insights to solve your new problem. So how you're going to use this is you're just going to switch to the next problem and then use those insights to help you solve your current problem if it's possible.
And that is provocative methods.